All right, big show, Football Friday. No game on Sunday, but we still treat it like a Football Friday. Nick Costos going to join us at 2:40. Maybe help you game plan out your Super Bowl betting menu with Nick.
We got a Pro Bowl game Sunday.
Can you bet on that?
Yeah, of course you can.
Oh, okay. All right, see if Costos is betting on the Pro Bowl. Elliot Short Parks will join us at 3. Find out what he thinks about BG playing in the Super Bowl. Maybe any other injury updates. There's no game on Sunday, but Tornado Shapiro's game day forecast happens anyway at 3:30. Very special guest. It's hard to tell these guys apart. Normally we have Jaws at 4 o'clock. Gilly the Kid, sort of like they look exactly the same. Gilly going to join us at 4.
Wow.
Yes, and the top 5 of 5. It's a big show. It
is a big show on a Friday.
So
that.
I actually tuned in for about 7 minutes last night to Fritz at 6.
That's about all I'm going to say.
More than enough.
More than enough.
You know, well, I had had Jack for so many hours during the day. Who needs more Jack?
Sure.
But the show, it was a good topic last night, Jack. And here was the question, Ike, because I don't think I know your answer to this. Mm-hmm. His supposition was that if the Eagles win this Super Bowl, this season, this team is the greatest Philadelphia team of all time. Do you agree with that?
Wow.
It's big.
Here's what I like about the question. I think it's an interesting topic.
Sure.
I can't wait to hear everyone else's opinion on this. I don't think there's one right opinion. Obviously, we're prisoners of the moment, but the one thing about Philadelphia, it is rich in history, and it's very knowledgeable about its sports history here. So I can't wait to hear from everybody else on some of the other teams that they would maybe consider as being the best. With that being said, there is a hint there that I too would believe this is the best team ever.
Really?
Yes, I would believe this is the best team ever if they win the championship. You know, they win a championship. When I look at the level of talent, now here's the thing. With some of those other teams, we have the benefit of knowing the results.
Yes, the perspective on the careers of those guys.
There, right? Yep. Your Hall of Famers there,
yep.
You know, so I get all of that, and I know we'll dive through it. We'll comb through it with a fine-tooth comb, trying to figure out which team is the best. But I look at this team, and I say, this team, quite frankly, the season that it's had is a little underrated. Now, think about that.
Yeah.
Think about that. They have a 2,000-plus yard rusher that could have very easily broken the all-time rushing record. I digress.
204.
We move on.
204.
We move on.
New record.
Should have.
Moving.
New record.
Keep it moving.
Yep.
Keep it moving.
Yep.
They have arguably, I don't even know if it's arguably, they have the best offensive line in football.
Yes, I agree.
So now when I'm thinking about offensive line, Spike, I'm thinking about the Hogs, those great Washington Redskins offensive linemen of the 80s.
Yep.
I'm thinking about the Dallas Cowboys offensive line they had in their three championship era.
Yep.
Right? When you think about offensive lines. Underrated offensive line was what the offensive line in Denver did with Terrell Davis under Alex Gibbs and the stretch zone offense. This offensive line, I believe, has a chance to go down as one of those offensive lines in history. And then the defense. Although the names aren't necessarily marquee names, we're getting these guys at the beginning of their careers. They're just scratching the surface. By the time they're done, they will be household names, all pros, pro bowlers, at several different positions with this team. I look at the coordinators. I look at the head coach. I look at I don't believe this is a one-year type of team. I think this team has a chance to go on a nice little run here. I really do. And you got an all-time great at running back. When you look at the Philadelphia teams, the 83 team will be brought up.
Yep.
Hall of Famers all over the place there. But that team almost has a feel of they finally did it after disappointment after disappointment after disappointment. It's not going to even make the same argument for the 80s team with the Phillies 80s team.
Yep.
They finally did it in 80. I don't know if I have a they finally did it feeling with this team as much as I have this is the beginning of something that could be great for a while. And so if they win it and you're taking down Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid, yeah, the Sixers beat the great Lakers. Yep. The Phillies. Who the Phillies beat?
Royals.
The Royals.
George Brett.
Brett.
But they beat the Astros in a 5-game series, and Nolan Ryan, they came back in Game 5 to take down him.
Yeah.
Okay. Solid. I can go with that. I'm just saying, they would have my vote. It's modern day. And I hate to get too much in the weeds, but there's something to building a team that's strong the way teams in the NFL have to do it today versus the way teams did it before free agency and all of that. This, to me, is a little harder to do and a little harder to sustain. So they would have my vote as the top team ever.
215-592-9494. If the Eagles win the Super Bowl, are they the best Philadelphia team of all time?
Now, if they don't win it, they go right back down there. That's the 04 team. And
now,
some of the teams, the 93 teams, the teams that didn't get it done.
So, and Jack, you say yes, right? That was the whole framing of what you said yesterday.
Yes.
Yeah. So the two teams, you mentioned the two teams that came into my mind. The reason, so my opinion on this is not yet, because I think that perspective is really beneficial in determining how great a team is, right? So the two teams I thought of course, were the 80 Phillies and the 83 Sixers. The 83 Sixers won 65 games. They won the championship. Now, all three teams have one sort of similarity in that they all added one player that put them over the top, right?
Yep.
The 80 Phillies added Pete Rose. The 83 Sixers added Moses.
Yep.
The 83 Sixers added Moses. And these Eagles added Saquon.
Yep.
So there is one similarity there. But I think that Hall of Fame, there's no one on this Eagles team that is a lock Hall of Famer right now. That you can say right now, if they retire, they're a lock Hall of Famer. Lane Johnson is the closest.
Lane,
I don't think he's a lock. I think he's a probably.
Yeah.
So the 83 Sixers, Dr. J, Hall of Famer, Moses Malone, Hall of Famer, Mo Cheeks, Hall of Famer, and then there's Andrew Toney and Bobby Jones and Billy Cunningham.
No disrespect.
Yeah,
to Mo
no. Oh, I got you.
All right.
If it was the NFL, he wouldn't be in the Hall of Fame.
All right.
But still, Hall of Fame.
Nonetheless, Hall of Fame.
Nonetheless, Hall of Fame. So I guess what I would say is I keep those, and then the 80 Phillies, Schmitty, Hall of Famer, Pete Rose, basically Hall of Famer. Yeah, the number one hit king of all time, Steve Carlton.
Yep.
Just, so
but they didn't dominate like this team.
No, they only won, 91
They won
games?
91 games.
Yeah. I think the 83 Sixers is the best.
The gold standard.
Yeah, is the standard compared to this one. And of course, the 08.
Billy C in the Hall of Fame?
He is as a player.
He is in the Hall of Fame, right?
Yeah, he is in the Hall of Fame. Yeah.
Who could forget the 67 Sixers?
Oh, man.
It's about time someone brought
Warriors.
them up.
Yeah.
Whatever. No, they're the Sixers.
Were they the Sixers?
Yeah, they were the Sixers.
Oh, okay. I thought they were the Warriors.
So and of course we have the 08 Phillies. We have the 2010 2011 Phillies.
Yeah.
And then we have the team that Jack until this point has said the greatest team that he ever watched, even though they didn't win the championship, was your 04 Eagles.
Well, yeah, I mean that's fair.
That's called having the eye.
I mean, that's an eye test.
That's an eye test.
That's an eye test.
That's an eye test.
And actually, I think even if they lose,
No.
But I think they're still the best individual team I've seen. I'm not comparing them to the 83 Sixers. I'm not comparing them back
Even if they lose?
Even if they lose, I think this is the most... Because they are going against Mahomes and Andy. It wouldn't be some upset if they lose this game.
You know what? I would argue the 04 team is a strong case.
I would love to know what the line would be. This team versus the 04 team.
Let me just tell you this. And I love A.J. Brown. He's T.O. 2.0. A.J. Brown is, we would say, the third best receiver in the league behind Justin Jefferson and
Jamar Chase. Yeah.
T.O. is no worse than the third worst receiver in the history of the game.
Right. Yep.
The third best receiver in the history of the game.
And in terms of established defensive players.
2 behind Jerry Rice.
And in terms of established defensive players, that team we know with perspective.
Yes. Well, and listen, I mean, we sent 10 Pro Bowlers
right
to Hawaii when the Pro Bowl mattered. Too,
wow. Are you changing your vote?
Well, I'm just saying.
All right.
Well, people do sleep on that team.
That's if they don't win.
And
if they win, Spike, I got them there.
Okay.
as the best.
Yeah,
So
that's what we're doing. This is if they win.
Yeah, this is if they don't win, they go with some of the other great teams that didn't get it done.
And the difference between this team, obviously, the 04 team is the quarterback. I mean,
Quarterback was better.
Donovan threw for 32 touchdowns that year? 6 picks?
Yeah.
And could you compare the 04 team to the Phillies, the 2011 Phillies? What was the 4 Aces Phillies?
That was 11.
The 2011, yeah. Or even the 09. How many games did we win in 09?
Well, 09, they went to Game 6 of the World Series.
Right, against the Yankees.
And then I think the 10 team was the best. But
okay.
A lot of people say the 11 team, but
The 11 team set the record.
They did, but their offense was really over. Like they were carried by those 4 pitchers essentially.
Yeah. All right, 215-5.
The total team game, Mike.
Yeah. Don't sleep on Joe Blanton.
Well, they slept on Joe Blanton, and he was hurt most of the year. Vance Worley pitched.
215-592-9494. You're sticking the mud.
Yeah. Me?
Yeah.
I think that's the opposite.
Right.
I'm too dumb to be a stick in the mud.
Do you think this Eagles team, if they win the Super Bowl, are the greatest Philadelphia team of all time? Also, coming up, we are sending buzz out to the streets, and if you haven't heard why, we will tell you why. That is coming up in a minute.